Hello everyone, and welcome to my preview of the two Wrestling Dontaku 2021 shows of New Japan Pro Wrestling, as on May the 3rd, May the 4th. It's the 6-match cards. As a man, with New Japan, they've went into a state of emergency, so they're cutting back on a couple of Road to shows after this. For the, I believe it's the Road to the Wrestle Grand Slam show. Cutting back a couple, it's weird because New Japan... But not just really New Japan. Obviously, all Japanese pro wrestling companies, they're just kind of at the mercy of the Japanese government, really just trying to figure out, they're really behind on COVID shots as of 2000, or as far as the 28th here, I'm recording this, they're still under 1 million vaccines, which, it's not great. That's actually not great at all compared to a lot of other countries, hence why the emergency was taking place. They're obviously trying to funnel COVID still before they can try and get a Olympics going on. But at this rate, they have to either push back the Olympics yet again because of Japan, or something else. They'll have to figure something out. As for this card, though, well, that's all in the future. This is up and coming here, Wrestling Dontaku. It's the card itself, the two cards, there's been better cards, but, at least there's some stuff that I'm at least excited to see, so it could be worse. We're starting for the opener, first match on night one here. It's an 8-man tag, kind of Lion Mark, Bullet Club, but, obviously you have Toriano in there, part of Chaos, but it basically is Lion Mark, Bullet Club as Master Wado, Tiger Mask for Hiroshi Tenzan and Toriano, taking on Dick Togo, Taiji Shimura, Yujiro, and Evil. It's kind of a shame seeing Taiji Shimura stuck here in the opener, but, this is what it is. For this, obviously, you have Wado and Tenzan. They have, their history as Tenzan kind of being the overlooker for Master Wado there. Evil and Yano, they're going to have their blindfold match, as, that could go one or two ways, that fucking blindfold match. That's, boy, they're really rolling the dice, because Yano can maybe pull it off with comedy, but, the biggest thing for those blindfold matches is they gotta be short. They gotta be under 10 minutes, usually. The DDT, Hiroshima had a fucking blindfold match in DDT that was really good, and that was just above 10 minutes, but they also have one of the greatest comedy referees of all time refereeing that, so that helps, too. You gotta have someone to pass the tension, because there's going to be a lot of dull action going on with those blindfold matches. But for this match here, I'm assuming Evil's going to get the win over Yano. I don't think Yano's going to pull a fast one. No, that would be quite Yano-esque to pull a fast one over Evil. Getting like a roll-up win or something after a low blow. But I just feel like Evil, this time around, building up for that match, he'll beat him this time. Maybe they won't even be involved in the finish, though. And it's a whole lot of parties involved. Obviously, you got Master Wada, you got Dick Togo, too. You got a lot of parties involved. As the next matchup, 6-man tag, is a bit of a prelude for both these teams. As Sho, Yo, and Kazuchika Okada of Chaos are going to take on Yoshinobu Kanemaru, El Desperado, and Minoru Suzuki of Suzuki Gun. So Yo is going to take on El Desperado the next night in a junior title match. And then Okada and Sho on the next night are going to take on Yoshinobu Kanemaru and Minoru Suzuki in a tag match. So obviously, you want to build on to that as far as, maybe whoever wins this night is going to lose the next night. Or even, Yo can get a win. If it was me, I would have Yo beat Yoshinobu Kanemaru. And then, so that way he has some type of momentum going into the Despy match where he ends up losing to Despy, obviously, because it's kicking off the reign and it's fucking Yo. But, obviously Okada and Suzuki, in years past, they've made some magic. As, that'd be a lot of fun, though. Okada and Sho could actually be a really fun heavyweight junior team. Obviously, New Japan doesn't really care about tag teams, so you have that, too. But, I think, just you trying to find some type of positives from this matchup. And Okada and Sho, that could be a really fun team in the future. As far as, this matchup goes, Yo should definitely beat Yoshinobu Kanemaru there. So our next matchup, 8-man tag, as it's the United Empire taking on LIJ, as Bushi, Sanada, Tetsuya, Naito, and Shingo taking on Jeff Cobb Aaron Hanare, Great-O-Khan, and Will Ospreay. So Sonata and Hanare and Naito and Great-O-Khan are going to have Road 2 matches where they face off against each other singles-wise. Obviously, that's a rematch between Naito and O-Khan from the New Japan Cup, so I'm assuming Naito will win that one. Maybe they'll have Hanare beat Sonata. That would be kind of cool, but, at the same time, and obviously Shingo Ospreay's main eventing night, too. So really, I just feel like Bushi's going to take the fall to Jeff Cobb here. That just kind of makes sense out of all this. And obviously Jeff Cobb hoping for big things for him for New Japan in the near future. As, we'll just go on to the next matches as the fourth match. And it's a right to challenge the IWGP Tag Team title matchup. This is a great stipulation. Love this idea. Wish it is involving other people, though, in this match. Because Zack Sabre Jr. and Tonga Loa, this is going to be quite the tall task for Zack Sabre Jr. Tonga Loa, he has had, in his career, 71 singles matches since 2009. And in the past 5 years, 2021, 2020, 2019, 2018, 2017, he has had 3 matches that were singles. And he won one of them. And that was actually this year, too. So, it's looking like Zack Sabre Jr. is not only going to get the win, but he's going to have to carry Tonga Loa. I mean, you can't... That is nuts. To have that few of singles matches is just crazy. Obviously, someone like him, when you have 71 matches under your belt as singles-wise, it's a much different ball game to compare to tag team wrestling, and you really you're all by yourself. You're all out there all by yourself. I'm hoping it's a quick match. I'm hoping it's like 8-10 minutes, even maybe shorter than that. Zack Sabre Jr.'s got to win though, that's for sure. It would be a goddamn travesty if he lost to this man in a singles match. But for the next matchup, it is the Iron Finger from Hell ladder match. Zuka's fucking claws are going to be held above the ring. And for the second time in New Japan's history, last time was Kenny Omega and Michael Elgin. Their Continental title. It will be defended in a ladder match. Well, I guess it would be held in a ladder match, as it's not like they're defending anything. So Taichi and Tama Tonga, which this is probably the best, as far as if you had to do these two teams in a singles match, this is probably the best combination. Taichi and Tama Tonga, this ladder match, this could, I'm not expecting a whole lot. Really not. I'm expecting just a change of pace before they get into the main event to help us bring up from the match before this. Tama Tonga there for a while, I was hoping he would kind of break that fucking ceiling and hit another level, but it just never happened. That was about a decade ago, and now, he's got a cool gun stun, so at least he has that going for him. He could maybe hit a gun stun off the ladder or something. But, hoping, what I'm assuming is Taichi's going to get the win, but I would not be surprised if Tama Tonga does get the win, so they split the singles matches between the two teams. And that could actually really work for Bullet Club. Well, I wouldn't say work. They always do, outside interference. So that's another gimmick for them to use. So maybe it'd just be too many gimmicks. But, I'd at least understand the mindset of Gato just throwing all the heel shtick on Bullet Club. I could definitely see that from his perspective, because he just wants to destroy the Bullet Club from within by making it an oversaturated mess. But yeah, I'm hoping for at least Taichi. I'm hoping for a good match at least. That's the biggest thing. But Taichi wins, Tama Tonga wins. I really couldn't care either way there. It's the main event. Never openweight title. It is Hiroshi Tanahashi defending his championship, looking for the second time against Jay White. As far as these two men, they're strangers to each other. I feel like it's going to be a title change. Just got a gut instinct. Jay White, he's had heavyweight, Intercontinental, and U.S. He throws the openweight title in there. He's basically, the Triple Crown winner. For, you having everything, and he still has so much time left. It's just kind of crazy when you think of the grand scheme of things. It is kind of wild, too. Obviously, with COVID and whatnot, he won the briefcase, and that was really his only championship most of because he drops the Intercontinental belt to Naito on January 4th. And then he, goes on pretty much the rest of the year, not in any title contentions, not holding any championships. And, when you've had in the past, he's been a heavyweight champion, he's been a U.S. champion. So now for 2021, this could be his first year where he does not win something. I feel like that's going to change. I feel like that's definitely going to happen here. He's going to beat Tanahashi. Just makes sense. It really does. Tanahashi was just kind of wild that he won the championship to begin with. The never openweight title hasn't really been used as a holding the championship for a long reign. It's been passed around a little too much for my liking, but I'm just going to go with what I think Geto's going to do and have Tanahashi lose, which I'm cool either way. Honestly, Tanahashi is feeling, I'm sure, just worn the fuck out, and you can kind of see it with a lot of the footage so far of 2021. I just feel like his style has slowed down. New Japan has been just running so many shows. Hell, now they can't even draw 300 people at a Road 2 show in Cork and all because nobody cares. They just have every fucking day. It seems like there's a New Japan show. And it's maybe too much at this point. I would say it's now crossed the point of it's too much. Should definitely cut back some shit. I understand taking those, having those months off and not gaining any revenue probably hurt New Japan, but I don't think that was the way to go, to come back and just oversaturate the schedule. That was definitely not the best plan of action for New Japan. I just don't see that really being a positive. But, it's... Because at the end of the day, is it really worth the extra revenue you're going to make? Because you gotta rent out the venue. You gotta fucking make sure there's enough people coming to the show to cover the venue rent. And it's... I wouldn't say it's worth it, but I'm not looking at the books. So I couldn't 100% guarantee it. But, as far as a night, like Wrestling Dontaku, this night, it's okay. It's not great. It really comes down to the Tanahashi Jay White match, in which all these New Japan shows now, because they've split them up in so many days, you're putting a lot of pressure on the heavyweight matches to really, or just putting a lot of pressure on the main event to deliver. And when that happens, a lot of times, sometimes it works. Even fucking just the other day, well, that's going to be a lot of days now that once you're seeing this video, but Suwama and Kenta Miyahara, those two had to go into a Champion Carnival tour night, where they're battling each other out in the main event. There's no crowd, thanks to the state of emergency. So they have to kind of throw some guys from the back into the crowd and just generate some noise to create something. And it fucking worked. They had a great match. It's one of their better matches they've had against each... they've usually had, obviously Kenta Miyahara. He'll have the great matches against Suwama, Shuji Ishikawa, Zeus. He usually the best of all Japan. He can have the best of matches with. But that match, I was really, really surprised. Figured it was going to be good, but it even exceeded my expectations on it. Which, when you're a hell of a talent like Kenta Miyahara, prime his fucking career, that's easy. And Tanahashi, though, fucking 44 years old, can barely move out there. So it's going to be tough, but luckily with Tanahashi's style and JY's styles, they blend very well, very slow, very methodical, so they can at least, create a great story out of it. So I'm expecting some good things from it, obviously. I think they can pull it off. It's for the second night of Wrestling Dontaku on May 4th. Starting off with a six-man tag of Suzuki Gun and Bullet Club. Doki, Zack Sabre Jr. and Taichi taking on Jado, Tongalo, and Damatanga. Yeah, if you're watching this show, definitely skip this. It's just nothing, just heel and heel. You got Jado in there. It's not great. Don't watch it. Just save yourself the trouble and start with the second match, which is Sho and Okada taking on Yoshinobu Kanemaru and Minoru Suzuki. Basically the same thoughts that I had on the first night talking about this. Okada's Sho. Great team. It's a fun team on paper. Would love to see what they can do. I'm hoping they beat Kanemaru and Suzuki. Hopefully Kanemaru takes the fall. As the next match. And again, it's basically the same thing, but instead of instead of an 8-man tag, it's a 6-man tag. It's Bushi, Sonata, Naito taking on Jeff Cobb, Aaron Henare, and Great-O-Khan. With Jeff Cobb presumably winning the first night for United Empire, I would have LIJ win this night. I would have either Sonata beating Henare, or even Jeff Cobb, or even Naito beating Henare, Jeff Cobb, or Great-O-Khan. Or they could have the United Empire win again, have someone like Henare now, this time pinning Bushi. You could definitely see that happening too. So the fourth match on the card, 10-man tag, Master Wato, Ryusuke Taguchi, Hiroshi Tanahashi, or Hiroshi Tenzan, rather, Jesus Christ, Toru Yano, Hiroshi Tanahashi, there we go, so at least I just saw his name and jumped a little ahead there, taking on Dick Togo, Taiji Shimura, Yujiro Takahashi, Evil, and Jay White. So yeah, I mean, this is definitely going to be the time where the undercard part of this 10-man tag is going to take some falls, whether it's Tenzan, Taguchi, Wato, or Yujiro, Dick Togo. I hope Taiji Shimura doesn't make the fall. But, yeah, I mean, obviously with Tanahashi and Jay White in their matches, and Yano and Evil and the match that's happening in the future, you're still trying to build onto that, but I just, assuming the undercard's going to involve in the finish there, I'm going to go with Bullet Club this time. I'm going to go with the Bullet Club team getting the win there. As Ishimori over Taguchi. I'll say that will be the prediction. That's what I'm hoping for. As the co-main event, IWGP Junior Heavyweight title matchup, El Desperado making his first defense against Yo. I'm hoping Despy keeps the belt to at least the best Super Junior. I mean, that just kind of makes sense to me, though, again. I feel like the best Super Junior is probably going to get changed around to maybe December, so maybe I should not say that. As far as Despy and Yo go the match, I think it'll be pretty good. I don't think it's going to be, fucking mind-blowingly good or anything like that, but I think it's going to be pretty good. I think it's going to be a good start for Despy, getting a nice win, starting off his reign with a successful defense. I mean, Yo, he's not bad by any means. Obviously, Despy's not bad at all. I think he's coming into his own finally. They're giving him a chance to really perform at a high level, but it's just, I don't think it's going to be, obviously the most talked about match, and I just don't see anything positive coming from this, as far as reflection upon this, when this match is over, and you're just kind of like, oh, this was, amazing, whatever. I don't see that happening at all. But it's a good match for Despy and Yo, though. This is Yo's, first title match. This is Despy's first defense. There's a lot of firsts, so that it's helping build the guys up, and that's what you got to do. Yeah, you got to build them up. They got to start somewhere. But yeah, Despy getting the win. And the main event, Will Ospreay, the champion, defending against Shingo Takagi, the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship matchup. So yeah, these two, great matches. One guy sucks, the other guy's awesome. The other guy should probably win. The other guy probably won't win. I mean, it's a goddamn shame, because obviously, you rewind the clock back before Speaking Out, back before everybody, knew how terrible Will Ospreay was. The 2018, that best, right, I want to say 2018, now I can't even remember the fucking date. Don't get old, people, don't you? Time seems to escape you. The best Super Junior finals. That match was unreal. It's one of the best Super Junior matches I ever saw. Unreal. And then you go, yeah, well, maybe it was 2019. Because they had the G1. Maybe they didn't. Why did I want to say 2018, though? I'm going to say it's 2019, just to be safe. Because, yeah, they faced each other in the G1. And then you had, obviously, the Cup finals. And now you have this match to make it the series. Yeah, they've pretty much, it's been won pretty much outright by Ospreay. Shingo could desperately use this win, not only for Shingo himself to cement himself as a top guy in New Japan, because he already is by the fans, but just booking wise, he's got to be treated like that. But get the belt off Ospreay, obviously. Shingo, when you're going forward from this, either way, whoever wins this matchup, if it's Ospreay, if it's Shingo, they're taking on Okada at either the Tokyo Dome or the Wrestle Grand Slam show. Maybe even both. you know, guess depending on how that goes, maybe Okada wins, and then which I hope that doesn't happen. As much as I love Kazuchika Okada, depending on who's the champion, I would either love or hate that. But I want to be excited for this. I really, really do, but I just can't. I just can't. I just see Ospreay and I'm just blank. I'm just like, don't want to see it. But hoping for Shingo to get the win. That's all I can hope for. If he does win, good on New Japan for making the right decision. If he doesn't, well, looks like we had to wait a lot longer for Will Ospreay to drop the belt, because I'm assuming he's going to keep the belt till like G1, and he's going to go the whole thing. I wouldn't be surprised if he drops it at Wrestle Kingdom. Like, it just seems like that's probably the way to go. It's a damn shame, but here we are. That's New Japan for you, but there's some great Japanese pro wrestling out there. The Champion Carnival was going great before the fucking fans had to go. That was a lot of fun. Shinjiro Otani's been the MVP so far, I think, by my account and by a lot of other people's accounts that I've seen. He's just really brought a whole nother style, a whole nother, the veteran instincts, and just psychology-wise, he's done a lot of great stuff, and he's having great matches. Because like, Kento Miyahara is going to have the bangers. He's going to have great matches with, like, Suwama and Zeus and the big names. But he can go in there and have a great story and a great match with, like, Yume Oagi, a guy who could desperately use that. And it just really, really helps and benefits from the Champion Carnival as a whole, him being in there. Just a great job. The outsiders in the Champion Carnival are always fantastic. They have such a great role, because usually those guys understand that role, and they deliver, and they bring their unique style to All Japan, and most of the time it works. Shingo's, honestly, when Shingo's the outsider coming in, that was a lot of fun, but kind of retrospectively looking back, some of it was kind of, not so great compared to, I think, the anticipation of it. Like, I remember him in Kento, like, that was obviously the big match, like, this is going to be fucking awesome. And from what I haven't seen the match in a while now, so that does hinder that, but I do want to say that I think if I watched that match again, it probably wouldn't hold up as much as maybe I would have liked, but that's a key role. Would have loved to see Takashi Sujiro again be in that last year. That would have been awesome. God damn it, COVID. But that will do it for this review of Wrestling Dontaku, and also a little bit of my Champion Carnival thoughts and takes, as I hope you all at least find something enjoyable about this show, or shows, rather, and hopefully, if you still are on the New Japan train, good on you. Live your life. You only got one. But, boy, I am just, if you kind of compare a lot of my videos from, like, when I started to where I'm at now, on my previews and reviews of New Japan, you can just tell my fluctuation with the product has gone from up to down in the short time. Well, I wouldn't say short time. It has been like 4 or 5 years, but yeah, that's the way everything. It's a cycle. Everything can't stay at the top forever. It's got to come down eventually. Hell of a run. 10 years, hell of a run. New Japan was unreal, unfucking real. But it was only a matter of time. I like to think that COVID played a good bit of part in that, and also just Ghetto's kind of bad decisions and kind of turn, because no booker's perfect. Eventually, bad decisions will creep in and just, fuck yeah. But who knows though? Maybe they can right the ship. Maybe. I'm trying to be optimistic instead of pessimistic, but it's hard. It's hard out here. But thank you all, and we'll catch you guys. I might do the review. I honestly might not. I don't know. I don't want to flat out say if I do or don't, because honestly, it's gonna be a game time decision if I really want to watch this show or not. I might see what happens in that main event the second night, and just be like, oh, yeah, I guess I will watch the show. It's gonna be interesting though. But thank you all, and we'll catch you guys next.